Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Cop Talk. I'm Kevin Shorter, your host. I'm here with my co-host, the famous Captain. Go ahead, Cap.
Welcome, WABC listeners and YouTube viewers. Here we are again with another interesting session of Cop Talk.
So today's guest on Cop Talk is Inspector Stephen Mauriello. Did I say it correctly?
Yes.
Okay. Stephen is an active NYPD inspector with the New York City Police Department. He's also the host of Keeping It Real with Stephen Michael. Stephen, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So, Steve, why don't you tell our audience a little bit about yourself, where you grew up, where you went to school?
So I grew up in Long Island and went to school in Valley Stream. Born and raised in Nassau County. Later on, I went to St. John's University, and I ended up becoming a police officer at a young age.
So now, rewinding, St. John's University, okay? I mean,
broken-hearted. I'm broken-hearted.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. You know? And
very happy.
Yeah. And Valley Stream had a North and a South high school, right? Were you a South, North, Central?
I went to Central.
Okay.
Right, in the middle.
My cousins grew up out there, so I know a little bit about Valley Stream. But I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, St. John's, I mean, when I went to St. John's in 1989, it just had a good, it was 1985, 86, I graduated high school. They just had a last winning season. Lou Carnesecca just retired. Brian Mahoney was the coach. It was very good years, and then since then, I would say that Rick Pitino, and they really gave me a lot of motivation back on my St. John's. It was a really good run. I was happy, and next year, can't wait to next year.
Now, I'll call you Inspector. How's that? Inspector, bring us to your career. You came on the job, where'd you work as a cop, and so on and so forth.
So I came on the job. I went into NSU. I think it was 625. It turned out 25 in Harlem, 2832. From there, I went to 34 Precinct as a police officer. I did 4 years and change. I went to Manhattan North Narcotics up in Harlem. Mm-hmm. From there, I made sergeant. And I learned about Manhattan back then. You learned the job very quick. You know, I was 21 years old, coming out of college, going on 22. And, you know, you saw a lot. We saw a lot back then. The city has been rejuvenated so much since 1989, 1990 when I was out there. But then I went to narcotics. The 6 months there, I got promoted sergeant. Went to Brooklyn 79, Bedford-Stuyvesant. Loved it. I did a few years there. I went to Brooklyn North Warrants. I loved that as a sergeant. I made lieutenant. I ended up going to the 83 Bushwick for a month. And then I went to Fort Greene as a lieutenant, as a special operations lieutenant. I did like 3 years there, and I went over to Williamsburg, the 9-0, as a lieutenant, special ops. And then I got promoted captain from there. And then from captain, I went to 7-7. I did Impact, precinct in Crown Heights, beautiful place. I went to Greenpoint actually for a little while, 9-4. I ran the borough crime for a while. I became the executive officer of the 81st, the command officer of the 81st. Got promoted. I went to Transit, Bronx, as an executive officer. And then I ran the Transit Anti-Terrorism Unit for almost 5 years. I loved that. Anti-terrorism, one of some of the best cops I worked with. And then I made inspector. And I'm now currently in the running Transit Manhattan in Manhattan.
Okay. So, with the exception of, you know, the salary, what was your favorite, rank? And where'd you have the most fun?
I think coming up the job, I would say lieutenant is probably the best rank. Lieutenant. I think lieutenant, you able to mentor newly promoted sergeants, mm-hmm. and you're able to lead the officers. So I think lieutenant was my favorite rank. The reason I'm still on the job, I still mentor, motivate, lead. That's why I'm still here. I'm almost 35 years on the job. I'm still doing what I'm doing because I want to lead and mentor people to do the right thing. You know, right. It's a very rewarding job. Like I said, I came on a young man, and no one comes on to get rich. I came on to help the community. I was always into volunteering. I delivered papers as a young boy, 9 years old. It's different. Delivering newspapers in the snow on a bicycle. Mm-hmm. My best friend Eddie. And then I worked in a food store. I did played sports. I did a lot of give back with community work. And I had a police officer come to my school one year in Valley Stream Central from Nassau County, and he talked about police officer, and it hit me. That's what I want to do. And like I tell everybody, this job is a calling.
Right.
It's a calling. You give back a lot. It's a calling. It's honorable job.
Right.
But you have to realize, like a teacher, like a fireman, it's a calling. You know, military. This is what you were meant to be, and you have to do the best you could do to help other people.
Right. True. Cap?
When did you go into transit?
2011.
I see. Well after the merge.
Well after the merge, yeah. I remember the merge. I was a sergeant in the 7-9, and the reason I remember the merge at the time, housing and transit would bring all their arrests to one location, a precinct. So I remember when they had the merge, we knew transit when we went to jobs, but we got to know everybody more. Housing and transit by first name basis, they would come into the precinct, the supervisors. A lot of people did the merge. They probably weren't too happy, but I liked it. You get to know more. It's all one job, so I didn't understand this.
Well, the merge was 1995. You came on in 2011.
No, I went to transit 2011. I was a sergeant in 7-9 in 1995.
Were they patrolling two cops in the transit at that time, or one? When they did
Since
the
I
subway?
came on, transit was 2011. It was two. I believe it was one.
It was one or two?
It was when I came to transit in 2011, it was two. But I believe back then it was one.
In 95?
95. Very busy time. 95. But they had trained patrol teams, so a lot of times they would meet up. So they'd be on the train by themselves, but they would meet up at point location and supervisor to help them out, God forbid, anything happened on the train.
Well, after so many years in the PD, how did you find it going over to transit?
You know what? In the end, I realized you're helping. So if you're doing detective work, you're helping the victims community. If you're doing transit, you're helping everybody. I find it very rewarding too. I loved my time on patrol, but the aspect with transit now is the minute you walk on a train, everybody's happy to see you. You know, you went to that train car, you say hello, they look at me like I'm crazy sometimes, I'm, in uniform. I say hello to everybody, how are you? How's everybody doing? Everybody good? Thumbs up day, and everybody's, and they love it. So I think what you bring to the public is be yourself. People are sometimes afraid to say hello to police officers. A lot of them, I tell my officers, they are the happiest people when they see you. 99.9%. I used to go to meetings, and they would thank me so much. I would go back and tell my officers all the time, you're loved, then you're needed. And I told them to this day, think about this. 11 o'clock at night, you went to the train car, and you're walking through the train car, people see you, they feel, I'm safe. I got someone here to help us.
Well, that's
God forbid of anything.
That's to be expected, but what I'm talking about is the working conditions. Is there a big difference between working in transit and working, in the I hate to say a PD side, it's all the same agency.
I would say the only thing is, what I saw is in police department, top side or patrol, God forbid you call it 85, which means you need assistance, or 13. You would have firemen with fire trucks coming by, EMS maybe coming by, detectives in cars coming by. It's easier for other commands. I would think the hardest thing with transit is if you and your partner are on a train and you need help, whenever that train stops next door, the cavalry be there to help you. So that's the only aspect I saw to make sure, to tell the cops to have your tactics. A lot of times when, through years a police officer, if you call the 85, next thing you know, the fire department pull up a truck, they see you, EMS, detectives coming through, narcotics, warrants coming through, they hear it, you have backup. It's transit, you have backup, but you gotta remember, when that train stops, everybody's waiting for you. So if you're on that moving train, you and your partner, it's you and your partner to the next stop, and then the cavalry will be there.
Right. True. Very true.
You had a program, a project. Well, it's not a project. It's called Project Thank a Cop. Can you tell us about that?
So that's run by Andy and Megan Fox. It's a nonprofit. They did it to look. They did it to help the police officers, first responders in times of crisis. If a member of service lost their life, or family member, or fireman, or military, they would hear about it, and they would try to, with the donations from everybody, they bring food to the precinct, food to the military base, food to help the families. If someone was in a hospital, they would bring food to the hospital. So they do a lot of a lot of good. They do it from the bottom of their heart, and I got to know them for what they do. I met them at a funeral, and we became very close. And I do a lot of functions with them. They'll do functions, Project Thank a Cop, where we honor the first responders and members of the community, and I do my live show from it, and I have my singers from my show, all NYPD personnel that I met through the years, and we all do it on our own time, and we have big functions. We'll do it at restaurants, like 200 people, and we end up honoring, and I do my live show for 1 hour on cable. It goes to cable, Optimum Cable, but I'm on Facebook, and it goes to YouTube, and we have them, so everybody who watches my show every week, they see what we're doing, and they can't make it. So what they do is they give back, suicide, God forbid, member service that killed in line of duty. They're there for the families. They help them. They're never forgotten about. One thing I love about my job, police department, as you guys know, you never forget your own. No matter what happens, we get to meet. I meet so many great people through Project Thank a Cop, but also through the NYPD, the Anchor Club. Right. I make other first responders, families that lost loved ones on the line of duty that I became very close to. I get Gil Lee and Captain Wu Lee. I love them. They lost their son, Kevin. They used to come to roll calls, talk to all the police officers, and it was therapeutic for them. But for us, it was for my officers and everybody who would listen to the family members who lost a loved one on this job. Every 9/11, we do District 4. Raymond Suarez passed away. His wife comes, and we do it to give back. So I was around for 9/11. This job never forgets. And that's why I think a lot of what I do in my show, I give back. Because when we get to it,
No, keep going. I just want to say.
2019, we had 10 active members take their life. I'm a member of PAPA, which is police officer providing peer assistance. I was trained. It's independent from the police department, NYPD. It's confidential. We're on call 24/7. Everybody gets 1 day. If someone has a problem, they'll call a number, and we'll get back to them. 2019, we had 10 active members take their life. In 2018, I became a member of PAPA. I lost a friend, Chief Stephen Silks. He was a mentor. He took his life one day before he was going to retire. I remember going on Facebook and talking to everybody to give them hope, not to give up. And that's what Keeping It Real, Steve Michael took off. I'm at 316 episodes later, since 2019 to now, and I made friends with so many family. Marianne DeLuca McGinnis, her husband, lost his life.
We had Marianne on the show.
I love Marianne, great people.
We had her on the show.
Cindy Silks Dumas, her brother Steve took her. I became very close friends with a lot of people. And so since 2019, what I do now, I do a weekly show. I'm on Optimum Cable in Long Island every Wednesday night, 9 o'clock, channel 115. Live Thursday nights on Facebook. And I do a 55-minute show, and I talk from the heart. And what people like about me, I guess, is I'm real. I'm motivated.
Keeping it real.
Yeah, and I'm motivated, but they like my personality. Every day's not a good day. But you know what? My motto I did since 2019: you matter, you're important, you make a difference. Because one point in my life, I didn't think I mattered. One point in my life, I didn't think I make a difference. At one point in my life, I didn't think I was important. I went through a lot. At one time in my life, lost a mother, got divorced, a little work mishap, and I was at a crossroads. I had to raise my son on his own. I had 2 children. And I'm not going to lie, the thought at that time, maybe it's easy to give up, but I didn't. God spared me all those years to bring me to what I do now. And what I do now is to give hope. That you're never alone, you never give up. Every day I put motivational quotes up on my page. I have a page, Keeping It Real, Steve Michael. I have my private page. I put it up. And people come to me for motivational quotes, and I don't realize the effect I have. And I'll tell you, Brian's here. He's my DJ. He works for me. People say you saved my life, and I stop them because God saves. All I could do is give you hope and help. You know, God spared me. So I would like to tell you one story. One day, at my lowest, I go to work. A civilian member of service is working that day. She sees me. Inspector, can I talk to you? I said, yeah. She goes, God has a message for you. I stopped. I looked right at her. He hasn't forgotten about you. When I tell you right now, I get goosebumps. At that moment, I must have been drowning. Probably the nicest words someone said to me. So I remember my impact in the world is always give, hello, how are you? How you doing? You know, because a lot of people out there are struggling. And you never know. And the littlest hello of how are you, you could save a life without even knowing it.
No, it's true. You don't know what's going on in someone's head for sure. You know, absolutely. Are you registered with the 9/11 program?
Yes.
Okay, good. You go every year, I hope?
Yes.
Good. You have to keep that up.
Yeah.
So many people we've had on this show was down in 9/11 like we all were, but they're not even registered. So we were able to get them registered through the 9/11 program thanks to Jeannie Kelly.
It's a very good program. Go every year. Mount Sinai.
Yeah, you have to be. You ever hear of a foundation called NYPD with Arms Wide Open?
Yes. We honored him. Proud to thank Robert Riley.
Merritt Riley. Merritt Riley and David Sprague.
Merritt. Proud to thank Cop honor at one of our events. Merritt is, I want to tell you, a tremendous human being. What he does out there with his son and what he gives hope to everybody.
His son Aiden, right.
So I say, what Proud to Thank Cop does out there and what my platform, what I do out there, I meet so many great people. And I don't realize I was already friends with them, but I didn't know what Arms Wide Open was. I didn't know Proud to Thank Cop at the time or other Beyond the Badge or Anchor Club. It became very close. And, I would say this job, tell you, the best fraternity, but I think the best family is your own family and there's a blue family.
Right.
And for everybody that loses someone, they realize that we never forget. We never forget. We always try to honor them every year. Transit does a memorial mass every year for officers that lost their lives. They do it every year in Brooklyn. Every year families come out. Could have been 20 years ago. Could have been 4 years ago. It's an amazing thing that the Transit NYPD does for so long, and they do it now. It's a little things. My friend Mark Wachter, he does employee assistance unit. He does a lot with suicide with the NYPD. That's his job function. What I do is independent, off duty, but he does a great job, and I get to meet a lot of great people. So it's a wonderful thing.
It is a great job. When I was coming on the job in 1985, my uncle said to me, "You're going to still have your neighborhood friends, your high school friends, and your family, but you're also going to meet people on this job that they're going to become your family for the rest of your life." And it's so true. Some of my best friends today are from this job 40 years ago. Very true.
And you know what's funny? You might not see someone for years and run into them, and it's like old home week.
Yeah, everybody. Absolutely. Oh, yeah.
And or you hear someone, God forbid, pass away. Hits. We just had someone pass away, car accident, cancer. You lose a lot of friends along the way. And then suicide. And I have to bring that up because that's what at one time, depression was a stigma. Suicide was a stigma. It's not.
Right.
50 million people suffer with depression a year. It helps. It goes to everybody. Don't discriminate what zip code, how much you make. Depression is depression. Two things I got taught in Papa. 2% I give out when I talk. 85 to 90% of people could be saved from serious depression with going to a therapist and medication. They will never go back down our road. And then 85% of people who want to take their life only want to stop the pain. They don't want to die. 85%, that's a big percent that just wants to stop the broken record. They could be stopped, talked to, and put it away. Sometimes the 15%, they make their mind up. It's tough because they could try it, be unsuccessful. We think we're out of the woods, but they could go back to it again. So if anybody's listening out there, if you're going through something, there's plenty of outlets out there. I always give phone numbers out to Papa, if you're a member, NYPD, active, retire, employee assistance unit, chaplains unit. I give my phone number out to suicide national hotline. You text 988 or you call 988. I even have the fire department EMS. I put out a number on all my shows, and there's other ones. Anywhere you could go to get help is a plus. And I'll tell you one more story. You're gonna like this story. So one day I go see a priest. I'm like, man, I go into a lot. So I go into a church in Rockville Center. I pull up. I go in. I say, I got to talk to a priest. They look at me. Okay, hold on. They bring down a priest. I start talking to him. He's not listening to me. And when it was all over, he's like, oh, you could get an annulment. I said, annulment? You know what I'm going through? So I walk out. I tell the story. I walk out. I go to the car. And a voice said, go back in. A couple times in my life, God taught. Voice said, go back in. I go back in. The lady looks at me. I'm like, what are you doing here? I said, give me the highest priest you have here. You know, bishop, highest priest. Al comes down, bishop. Can I talk to you? And within me opening up to him, you know what he said? That's a lot for one person to go through at one time. You know? So I bring that for a reason. There's hope out there. There's help. If you got to talk to a loved one, you do it. You want to talk to your best friend, you talk to your best friend. You want to call these numbers, you talk to someone. You go see a priest, a rabbi, whoever you want to talk to. People will listen. Sometimes the ones who listen more, and I was taught this, are the ones that have 2 ears and one mouth. You only talk when you have to jump in. I had to learn that because I like to talk too much. You listen more, and when you jump in, you jump in. A lot of people just want to tell you what's going on. It's a weight they carry on them.
Yeah.
Like a sack of rocks. They'll go to the bar, they get a little medicated, one rock, they still carry it home. They can go to church, still come home with the rocks. They go home, go to job, go here, they still carry that sack. What happens when you let them vent or let them talk to someone, they ease their pain and they learn to forgive themselves. A lot of stuff we go through, you can't forgive yourself. There's mistakes made in life through your whole life. No one's perfect but the man upstairs. So a lot of times, or you have to give forgiveness, and that's another one. Right. People carry that bitterness. They just have to, you don't have to be buddy with them again, but you learn to give forgiveness because in the end, that frees you from what you carry.
Yep.
You know, you mentioned Stephen Silks. I knew Steve. And the tragedy of him, he was at a high rank, probably the highest ranking suicide that I'm aware of, you know, all my years in the job. And you wonder why he did it. I know that the job meant everything to him. He had, I believe he had nothing else going in life except the police department.
He loved the job.
And all of a sudden he's out. He's going to be out and he's going to be a civilian. I experienced the same thing. I did 40 years and I was a captain. So, you know, I had respect. I had enjoyed the job. The next thing you know, I'm back in the civilian life. I'm just an ordinary person. It's a hard pill to swallow. But certainly it's not suicide. It wasn't suicidal for me. It was depressing for a while, but I learned how to deal with, you know, my new life. With Steve killing himself, I always wondered, did he ever talk to anybody? Did he ever let anybody know he was having problems?
So with Steve, I lost a couple friends. I lost Roy Richter, president of CEA.
Yeah, we know Roy too.
Yeah,
Very good.
Yeah.
I lost Dennis Mulaney, inspector. I lost a lot of friends, all ranks. I lost family members to suicide. My son lost his best friend, 17 years old. His friend took a picture of a train in Long Island and jumped in front of it and sent it out to everybody. And, you know, so what affects with Chief Silks, Steve, no one knows. I ran into him like 3 months before he retired. We were talking about vacations, and, you know, he's like, well, I usually travel with everybody. I'm like, well, you still could travel with everybody. There's a lot of time. But what I tell everybody, and not that this becomes an identity, but you got to remember, we start working at a young age. Right? A job is a distraction. I try to tell you, a job is a distraction. If you have only stress at your house, you know, it's not going to distract. So we go to work, whatever's going on, we work, run the radio run, or whatever you do, it distracts you from other stuff. And your home is your happy place now.
True.
So, but what I tell everybody, when I realize with my show, I help people, all professions, military, firemen, teachers, social work, police officers, correctional officers. I go down the line, and you know what they want? Did I make a difference? Everything I did in my life, and what's my purpose now? And I tell them, listen, retirement is for everybody. It's not for everybody. But you know what? You did make a difference. And I had to learn too. I coached my son's little league team from 4 years old to 18, gave back. All the kids came back every year. But we make a difference. We think it's got to be like the big award, the difference. I saved 100 people. No. A lot of time we help Mrs. Jones shove up snow. You brought the mail in. You helped someone across the street. You made a difference. But what I tell everybody, your purpose, you know, look to do something once a week. If you want to work, you work, but don't kill yourself. Do something 1 week. If you want to meet your friends, go out Wednesday, dart night, whatever you want to do, have something to look forward to. Because a lot of times everybody, I'm going to retire, I'm going to decompress. And we do. But after a couple months of decompressing, you're like, what's now? I'm used to going 100 miles an hour, and now we're at a standstill.
Well, speaking about retirement, we just was talking about this before with another guest on the show. Getting back to the NYPD, at 63, it's mandatory retirement age. To me, I feel that's too young today. I mean, there's guys who, I'm sure you have friends too, and I have a lot of them, who at 63 had to go. They weren't ready to go, they didn't want to go, and they were doing a good job. They're still healthy, in shape. 63 is kind of young. Fire department, 65. Newark PD, 66. We can go on and on and on. I think they should raise that, you know, that limit in regards to mandatory retirement at 63.
I'll say this. I don't think we're ever ready to go. Some people, some people are ready to go 20 years and out.
Right.
Because they're going to move to another state with their family and start another. That's the easiest way to go. As you do your time, a lot of guys, I'm doing 20, I'm getting out. And then 3 months later, 4 months later, they're working a full-time security gig. And then a year later, like, man, I should have stayed another year. I should have stayed this. And I think it's for what you want to do. Some people want to leave 20. Some people want to do 15 and leave. Don't listen to anybody else's advice because some people in the locker room, I wish I could retire.
No.
Go when you're ready.
We all sign up for 20. I did 28. You're still going. He did 40. You know, so, you know, and the guys who want to do 20 now, maybe that's the best bet.
So this is therapeutic for what you guys do. You do this is a work, but this is therapy. My show once a week is therapeutic for me. You know, everybody says thank you. They can't wait. I could have the worst week. Work. I still there 8 o'clock live. Thursday nights I come live and with energy, and they say thank you. But I tell them all to thank you. I mean, for anybody to watch me. But like I said, my show gets on Facebook between, like I say, 15, 20,000 views a week. Shared all over. I say thank you for actually coming on my show. We have music. We do motivational, inspirational. I do virtual vacation. I lost a friend, Johnny Williams Lawrence. He died of cancer. 19 years on the job. He has cancer. He died of cancer. I had him on my show. He became a partner of me and Brian. And he's not forgotten about it. Every week I go virtual vacation, which means leave your passport alone. DJ Brian play your music. And I go to Florida, Jamaica to music. But Johnny's pitches up and I say, Johnny's my brother, my friend, my coworker, my co-host. The man battled cancer like no one I've ever seen in my life to his last day. And when he was dying in hospice at his home, day before he died, he was emaciated. I came into the room, and his wife she just retired. She was a sergeant on a job. He actually sat up hearing my voice. The guy battled so hard. So for everybody out there, you know, so many people want to give up on life, but so many people want to live life. But in the end, giving up ain't the way to go. It's never the way. And in a menu of life, you're never going to say, take my own life. It's never going to be on that menu. True. It's like, we will get through this. Storms come, they devastate you. Hurricanes come, they clean up afterwards. You go up at your house. It's like it never happened. The sun, same thing about storms of life. It comes, devastates you, and then leaves. And in time, the birds come out, the sun comes out, and you realize, man, I overcame so much. Yeah. As I say the Bible, I bring up faith a lot. But when I talk to everybody, you know, in the Bible, you know, no one perfect. God used a lot of people who had setbacks in their own life to bring them to where, to use them to Moses, 40 years in the desert, you know. Jonah in a whale's belly 3 days. Joseph thrown into slavery, into his cell for 3 years. Job lost everything. And in the end, it always comes out better. Life's like a washing machine. Spins you back and forth, throws you around, but then you come out cleaner. Same thing, no matter what we go through. My mother told me, God only gives you so much you can handle, carrying your shoulders. And at times, we all feel like Zeus. We carry the whole world, we feel like. But in the end, we survive 100% of our worst days. I have to say that because sometimes you're like, I had enough. 100% of our worst days up to now, we all survived. So why can't we survive another day?
Great.
What's the future of your of the project?
So Project Cop, they're still doing what they're doing. That's Megan and Andy Fox. That's their nonprofit. Me, I'm going to keep going. I'm on episode 316, Keeping It Real, Steve Michael. I'm on cable TV now. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Spotify and iHeart too. They used to put me into that now. I'm going to keep going until God tells me to stop. You know, even when I go on vacation, I'm crazy. I'm going to tell you, even go on vacation. I was in Scottsdale, Arizona with my family. I go do it live, right? It was 100 degrees. That show lasted like 20 minutes. My phone overheated. The tablet. When I go out live and I do it, it's like I will get emails, a text on a Facebook or whatever. Are you going to be on today? You're going to be on today? I need you tonight. I'm like, oh man, we don't have it. We don't have it. But I go on. If one person stops them from taking their life for one more week until I come back again, I did my job. And my job was just to give hope. You know? A man one time was walking dead. I survived. You know, and God spared me. Yeah. But we all go through something. Job went through everything. Sometimes we could look at the Bible and say, wow, you know, I could be Joseph. You know, I could be this one, I could be that one. You went through it and you wonder why. And I say this, like David, he slayed Goliath. You know? A lot of time I told everybody, our Goliath might not be that 7-foot giant that he faced. Ours could be a deadline, a disease, a setback. And you know, David was the only one who believed he could take him down. Everybody took him and he slayed everybody. He went in there with a slingshot, 3 rocks, took him down. Why? Because he believed. And God knew he was going to do it. We have to believe we could beat our Goliaths, whatever it is that's setting us back. If it's that diagnosis, if God forbid divorce, the D's of life, depression.
Anything. Always believe. Anything, you know.
What's the maximum number of your circulation? You mentioned before, I think 19,000 on one particular platform. Yes. But all together, put them all together. What's your viewing audience or your listening?
So I'm on Facebook page, Keeping It Real, Steve Michael. I almost have 21,000 followers on that. My page over 5,000.
26.
Yes, I probably I would say maybe some give and take both play. And the 21,000 people on Facebook, I don't know half of them. Most of them I don't know. They found me through motivational mental health I put out there, and they follow me. And I think about 25,000 actually. You know what? I like to get on a platform one day where you could help somebody somewhere else, because you need more positivity in this world. You know, I tell everybody, you know, you read the papers, this and that, you know, the world will be coming to an end. A little more positivity out there will help us survive another day. Too much negativity, and you're already down in the dumps. Mm-hmm. And I'll say this, like, sometimes you're super depressed, but if you add, God forbid, serious alcohol use or medication, you got a knee injury, and you add on top of depression, say, it's like a Molotov cocktail. It can go anytime. It gives you thoughts of maybe I could take my life. You know, it's hard. Yeah. Even think about it, taking a life.
Since this program is geared specifically to law enforcement, do you direct your program to law enforcement?
Yes, I direct my program to law enforcement, but to everybody. I learned law enforcement. It's directed to a lot of my outlets where I send my videos to law enforcement. But I'm going to give you one example. I'm on the Italian cooking channel on Facebook. They share me. I'm Italian, Leo Italian. I'm all over the place. Like, you know, Irish Angel shares my video. 9/11 Mauriello, they share my videos every day. They love me. A lot of places share my video, and I think it's because, again, you know, I'll tell it how it is, but I'll give you, and I give you music, and that's another thing. I do freestyle interactive question with the audience, and they're on the other end. They'll answer it, and if it's taped, they'll answer themselves. You'll see comments like I'll say like, "What's your favorite color?" You know, "What's your favorite food?" You only have one meal to eat the rest of your life. What would it be? You know, Brian will say pizza. I love pizza. I'd say chicken parm for me, but I couldn't kill my own chicken.
I'm a chicken parm guy.
I couldn't. If I had to kill my own chicken, I'd be in pizza. I think it'd be pizza.
Yeah, I'm a chicken parm guy.
Time's up.
You go to the best restaurants. What do you want? Chicken palm.
Yeah, me too. They get mad at me.
Well, Steve, Inspector, running out of time, but any last words? And also tell everyone how to get a hold of you and tell them about, if they want to listen to your podcast, how they can do that.
All right, you can find me on Facebook page, Keeping It Real, Steve Michael. You go follow me on Strong Island Television, Paradise Studios. That's where I do my live show. You can follow me on YouTube, Keeping It Real, Steve Michael. Spotify, iHeart, Keeping It Real, Steve Michael. But you want to watch me live every Thursday night, 8 o'clock, Facebook. You can it'll be on YouTube, on Strong Island Television. You'll have a good time. It's an experience. It's like life, a roller coaster I give you. But you leave laughing. You could be crying in the beginning. I'll talk from the heart. But at the end, you're laughing and you're pumped up. So if you want to follow me, also if you're on Long Island, Optum Cable, I'm on every Wednesday night, 9 o'clock, channel 115. At one time I was on Saturday night. I was on Saturday nights, like John Travolta. They moved me to Wednesday night, but I'm like prime time, 9 o'clock. It's like Laverne and Shirley, Three's Company was 9 o'clock, I think. So I'm on prime time.
But, prime time. I like that.
I just want to say for anybody out there, law enforcement or not, but if if you feel like you can't go any further, please don't give up. There's plenty of outlets. You come to my page. I put all the phone numbers up. Every show I give you a phone number. Don't give up. This world's a better place with you in it. All right? You know what? There's only one you, an original. Don't be a cubic zirconia. Your value more alive than you ever know. And if God forbid you ever want to take your life, think about the pain. You'll leave everybody behind. So please, whatever you do, you're matter, you're important, you make a difference. Don't give up, please.
That's a great message, Stephen. Great message. So I'd like to thank our guest today, Inspector Stephen Mauriello. Okay. NYPD Inspector. I'd like to thank you for your time. Be safe out there. Keep up doing God's work. And glad to see there's some great people still on the job like yourself.
Thank you.
And good luck. Hopefully you'll make chief soon.
All right, thank you. Thank you. We'll see.
On that note, I'd like to thank everyone for listening to Cop Talk. If you like what you hear, you can subscribe to Cop Talk at WABC Radio, at WABC. And you can also follow us on X at Cop Talk WABC, at Cop Talk WABC. And until next time, God bless you. God bless America. God bless law enforcement throughout the world. God bless our U.S. military and CAP.
Yeah. This program will also, this session will also be viewed on YouTube.
Thank you. Until next time. Be safe out there.
God bless you.